So why are we doing this and why are we stretching ourselves, you're asking? So really we want to introduce Chakrascension to new people, to people who've heard of it but don't know a lot about it in great depth. And really we'd like to reach out to perhaps therapists who are looking for something new that they can offer their clients that could both help their clients and also generate new income. So welcome to everybody. Sorry if there's been a bit of a delay, but we're here now looking okay, we think.
And sorry if you saw my hands trying to get the camera up, because we had to quickly switch to our mobile phone.
If only we had glove puppets, that would have been exciting, wouldn't it?
However, this is going to be about less than an hour, obviously, but what we've done is we've prepared some bullet points so that we know that we can cover everything that we want to do. So the first question that I want to ask Alan is...
That's me. I'm Alan.
I'm Robert.
For those who didn't know who we were.
What is Chakrascension?
Well, in order to answer that question, I shall show you one of our lovely manuals, and this is a level 1 manual. And I shall quote from it, and this is what we tell people who ask. Chakrascension is a form of energy therapy which works on the human energy system by activating and balancing its main chakras, or energy centers located along the spine and up into the head, using the energy of the ascended masters.
Great. Now tell me, for people who don't know what chakras are, what are they?
Well, they're energy centers, and traditionally the most basic, there are 7 of them, and they're located along the spine. They start at the base of the spine, and they go to the abdomen, and then the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, third eye, and crown. And each one has a specific function linked to a part of our life. So, for example, the base chakra is all about the flight and fight response. So, if that is out of balance, you quite often feel frightened of life, or you feel aggressive and you don't feel comfortable in your own skin. I won't go through each of them, of course we've only got an hour. And then, for example, the solar plexus is all about our sense of personal power. So if that is badly affected or out of balance, you don't feel empowered, you don't have any sense of self-confidence or self-worth. And that is particularly a problem at the moment when I give therapies. So many people, because of perhaps early life trauma, have been badly affected. And another example is your third eye, which is traditionally between the eyebrows, and that is to do with your inner guidance, your intuition, and also clairvoyance and card readers. That particular chakra will be very well developed.
Oh, I see that Laura, one of our practitioners in Glasgow, is on, Scotland. So hi, Laura.
Hi, Laura.
And thank you for joining us. Now, one thing I wanted to add there is that the chakras, actually, they are designed to go out of balance temporarily. So, for instance, if the heart chakra is to do with love. If, for instance, we're actually seeing something on the television which is very emotive, or somebody's telling us something about their lives that is makes us feel emotional for ourselves or on their behalf, the energy goes to our heart center. If we're concentrating on working to the exclusion of everything else, we're working and focusing in our root chakra. That's good. It's where the focus is at a particular time. However, if we were to become an a workaholic,
you could be a workaholic and an alcoholic if you like.
The alcoholic would be in your sacral chakra. Yes. But if we were to be a workaholic, well then all of our energy would be focused in the one spot to the detriment of everything else in our lives. Similarly, if we were too emotional all the time, we would never be able to give ourselves a break. And so intermittently, it is always good to have some method to actually balance out your chakras so that they're all balanced and working together, because they're designed, as I said, to go out of balance, but they're also greatly designed to work as one complete machine.
Yes.
Now, you also mentioned...
Indeed, I did.
Ascended Masters.
Ascended Masters.
Would you be kind enough to share with people what Ascended Masters are?
So, some people work with angelic energies, and there's a form of Reiki called angelic Reiki. Ascended masters are a group of divine beings who exist in spirit. Traditionally, they have had a human incarnation, but over many incarnations have reached a point of enlightenment where they no longer need to incarnate for their spiritual progress and could go on to higher levels, but have decided to stay behind and work alongside humankind to help us with our spiritual development. So for each symbol, which I've talked about, there is an Ascended Master link to that symbol, so that when you work with the symbols, the energy is drawn down from the Ascended Master and then goes into the specific chakra to bring them into balance. So that is a very unique facet of Chakrascension. Some people, must admit, are perhaps sometimes a little dubious about the thought of working with discarnate entities, but there's no difference between that and angels, really, that they're benign, loving, and they want to work alongside us.
And I think that's the most important thing, the benign influence. It's like having great brothers and sisters in spirit that have gone through the whole process that we're going through, and they're working to help us, to guide us along the way, and to give us support when we need it, encouragement, and to chivvy us along as well when sometimes we're being a bit reticent to do something, and their influence will help gently push us to where we need to be.
So I mentioned about level 1. There are, in fact, well, initially there were 4 levels of Chakrascension, each one showing a progress both in your own spiritual development and as a therapist. And now there's a level 5, which we'll talk about later, and an exciting development called First Steps, which we'll talk about when we talk about the training and the development of the system.
Now, I've got to ask that question. The elephant in the room.
The elephant in the room
is a question called, how is it different from Reiki, or even, is it a form of Reiki? And before Alan starts to comment on that, I will tell you that we studied as Reiki Master teachers in 1996, and we honour Reiki. We studied in the Usui Tibetan tradition, and we have taught people from levels 1, 2 and 3 over more than 25 years, and it has been very rewarding, and I honour Reiki. But this is different. It is an energy therapy, and Alan will talk about the differences.
Well, I feel it's a lighter, higher frequency, not high that it's better than Reiki, I would never say that, but I think it brings about a sense of positivity, of lightness. It helps you cope with adversity. So if there's areas of your life that you can't see beyond, or you're really struggling with, it helps you to work with that. It doesn't change the situation, it helps you cope. And some people have said they just feel so much lighter and lifted and positive and optimistic.
I'm absolutely dying to share my image of.
I'm nearly finished.
Okay.
And today I acted as like a guinea pig to one of my students who just finished level 3, and they're using myself, one of the guinea pigs, to send a distant treatment. So I lay there, and for half an hour I was sent this level 2 treatment, and I just felt absolutely euphoric. I felt I was surrounded by this beautiful energy. I saw colours, and I felt absolutely lovely after. Just so much lighter. So that is how it's affected me. And I've got to say, since working with Chakrascension, and you might be saying he would say that, I've been so positive in my life and just so generally feeling enthusiastic and optimistic about life.
And to speak to that as well, I've been guinea pig for students that send me distant Chakrascension, and I've always found, particularly with this one person that sent it to Alan today, she sent it to me previously. You need to move in a bit because we can't see you on the thing. But she sent it to me previously, and what I found was I was deeply relaxed, and then suddenly I woke up. And strangely enough, I woke up 1 minute before the person sending it to me was due to finish.
That happened to me.
And that happened to you, didn't it?
Yeah.
So I want to share with you that I love Reiki. I always think that it's like a big, heavy comfort blanket that you have on you, like a big teddy, like a comfort blanket when you just need to chill and relax and rest. Chakrascension is slightly different. So imagine, because I'm a bit of a hoarder, imagine what the kitchen cupboards look like. And when you go to the kitchen cupboards and you open it and you think, oh, I don't think I'll throw that out because I might need it, such and such, and you realise that you have to do something. So then you go through that whole process of taking everything out, cleaning the cupboards, putting all the stuff you absolutely need back, then thinking, I'll take those to the charity shop, those are out of date, I'll get rid of those, etc. And then there comes a moment where you think, oh, everything's in its right place and I'm ready to get on and do other things. And that's what Chakrascension does. Personally for me, it actually gives me that recentering so that everything is brought back and ordered so that I can start again doing other things.
It really helps to counter negativity. It helps you cope with life and specific problems that come to you. Now, sometimes people say, I've got a bad back. Will it cure that bad back? Well, like Reiki, like most forms of energy therapy, you cannot say, yes, it will. We have had excellent reports from people who have seen marvellous benefits to people with physical ailments, but you cannot say that. But the deep sense of relaxation and also the sense of optimism and releasing of tension that you gain definitely have a long-term effect on your physical well-being at all. But obviously you cannot say, yes, no, I can cure you.
And it's actually your body that's curing itself, if it can. What's happening is sometimes, if you've got animals, like especially cats, if you've got cats, if they're under the weather, they will go up the corner, sit in their bed, and they will not do anything until their body has healed itself. Adults, human beings, have a great capacity to continually come in the way of our body trying to heal itself. We might have a cold, or we might have a headache or a migraine, and we say, oh no, we've got to go in, we can't let people down, they're relying upon us, that's got to do, I can't do this, I can't rest because this has got to be done, that's got to be done. However, if you can sit still and relax and then use the energy therapies, that's when you can manifest a healing. And Alan did mention bad backs, and I agree with him. You could never prescribe, if I do this, it will heal a bad back. However, I will share with you that I did have quite a debilitating muscular issue. It's very important because obviously people have slip discs and all sorts, and those are very structural issues. But I had a muscular issue, and it so happened that we were about to go on a retreat where I would be required, we were going to be sleeping in bunk beds in dormitories, and I was going to be required to climb to the top bunk, and I could not walk straight.
Climb.
No, he doesn't climb. But I did the Chakrascension. I did one of Alan's YouTube videos, because we'll tell you about those later. And lo and behold, that went.
Bum, bum, bum.
One thing before we move on, I do want to share with you as well. When the system came to Alan in 1997, I was 37. And up until that point, I had never read tarot cards. I'd never had any connection with spirit, mediumship, anything like that. And suddenly it all started to happen. Now, I should say it wasn't because I was skeptic. It just never occurred to me to actually do that. So now, nearly 30 years on, I have actually delivered and helped people with tarot, with seeing spirit, with messages and accurate messages. And I'm not saying that to blow my own trumpet, but what I am saying is Chakrascension can also be a tool to open you up spiritually. And I did recently sort of look through the typical training for somebody to become a medium, and I realized that a lot of the things that are key things for you to actually do in order to gain medium skills or develop your innate medium skills, because I believe everyone has that ability, it's just that not everyone tries or practices. A lot of the stuff was actually things that the Ascended Master had walked us through, talked us through, and helped to develop.
So I said the key uniqueness of Chakrascension is that you work with these Ascended Masters, and they can be a guide and an educator. Okay?
When did it all start?
No, we haven't.
Well, I've been talking as if I'd already said
I
that.
know, but so much for rehearsal, we say. Right.
You wouldn't believe that we had a very budding career in amateur panto.
Well, amateur for you. Anyway, we digress. Brief history. So how did it start? So we talked about we did Karuna Reiki. After we'd done the Usui, we did Karuna Reiki. And during my attunement at Karuna Reiki master level, I felt a symbol enter my crown. Which is a bit of a shock, really, because something completely new to me. And I found if I drew the symbol and worked with it, I could project energy. And this was verified by my Reiki master, Val Reddy. And then I was guided by a lady that we knew was a yoga teacher, very aware of energies, to, if I wish to continue in this vein, actually meditate and see what else happens. So over the next few months, I meditated, it's called a Zen meditation. I just sat and opened my mind and just stayed calm and wait to see what happened. And over the next few months, 9 symbols came through. And I thought, that's a bit of a surprise, so many. And then as I worked with Robert, talked with Robert, realised because some had come through with a colour, they were linked to the chakra system. 2 of them, I wasn't sure what exactly they were for. And slowly over time, it unfolded that the 2 extra symbols we used, they're placed in your hands at level 2, and you can then use them as a therapist to direct the energy. So I thought how clever that the masters have sort of released this first part of Chakrascension. And then over the next several years, more symbols came through, but always preparing for the next level. So they were released in a particular schedule. So now we have 4 levels. A 5th was added 3 years ago, and a new level called First Steps was added to the system by Jenny, who is in fact on the live at the moment, who we first engaged as our sort of, PR? Our influencer. Because we're totally inept at anything to do with social media, and she's brilliant. But we'll tell a little bit more about that later on. So
I do remember,
yes.
I do remember Lorraine, who was one of our friends, a yoga teacher. She'd done Aikido, and when Alan said, we went and did Karuna Reiki, and I got this extra symbol, and we could feel the energy when he drew it in our hands. And she said, you should do this Zen meditation, where you just go and stare at the wall. So Alan used to go to our meditation room in the house that we had in Wednesbury, and he'd stare at the wall, and then a few hours later he'd come running down with a small piece of paper with a new symbol. So I was collecting the symbols as they came in, and I remember that we were also linking them to different Ascended Masters.
So now, as I say, we're having 4 levels to begin with, a 5th level, and then First Steps, which we're going to talk about now, about the process of teaching. But so quickly, level 1, you work on yourself to bring yourself into balance using hands-on self-treatment and breathing. Level 2, you can actually work as a professional Chakrascension therapist. Level 3, you can send energy distantly, both for treatments and also, which is a marvellous tool, you can start to teach it distantly, which many of our practitioners actually do very successfully. And level 4 becomes a little more esoteric, but you can send energy forwards and backwards in time. You can send energy to earth chakras and forge us closer relationship with the ascended masters. And we do something called a meditation to connect to our, well, I suppose you'd say our multidimensional self. But you can really just do the first 3 levels. You can really have a good career as a therapist in Chakrascension.
Yeah, and we also teach it in, because we're old school and we're old, we like to meet people. So we do. So we do teach in Shrewsbury, and a lot of people like that sort of personal approach. We've got lovely practitioners because it's now in 9 countries. So we're really excited by all of the fantastic people that have spread the word, people we've trained, have trained other people and so on. And we've got them all up and down the country, and they're all ready to start training people. So if you wanted to have an in-person training session, we would be able to find somebody hopefully in your area. And
also join us as Amanda, one of our first teachers and practitioners who's been very successful.
Oh, absolutely.
And has done a marvellous job in spreading the message of Chakrascension. So hi and thank you.
And I said
Amanda.
Lauren as well,
oh,
Laura as well in Scotland.
Yep.
But for people who cannot do that, and people in different countries, in different locations, we do have a training platform, and so people can log on to the training platform. You've got 2 options with that. You can either enroll for the course and you actually link with a level 3 practitioner so that they can send the activations, because the activation is what actually links the energy to you so that you can channel the Chakrascension Therapy energy. And those activations can be done. The training you can do in your own time. So there are lessons that take you through everything, and then you'll get to a point where it says, now it's time to book in your activation. And
so is that what an activation is?
Yes.
I'm going to do that. So if you've done Reiki, there's something called an attunement where you linked up permanently to the Reiki energy. We call the activation in Chakrascension, it's the same process where we link you up to the Ascended Masters using the symbols. It's very simple, straightforward. And another marvellous thing about, which you haven't mentioned earlier, which we think is a great way to progress the system, you can teach the people below. So if you've done, as soon as you've done level 2, you can teach level 1. When you've done level 3, you can teach level 2 and 1, and once you've done level 4, you can teach all the other levels as well as level 4. So it's not baby steps for people who want to dip their toe in the water of teaching. It's not for everybody. You can actually do that.
And this was actually told to us by the Ascended Masters that that's what they wanted to happen. And we could see the benefit in that, because when we have taught Reiki, people do level 1, they do level 2. Not many people go on to do level 3. And a lot of people say as soon as they get to level 3, it's quite a big jump to suddenly start teaching everyone. So as Alan says, they're the baby steps that will give you more confidence and take you through those training parts so that you become more confident.
And really the training platforms that can be used for self-teaching or as a form of revision. So many people, once they've completed their face-to-face training, or if they're online, you can then go to the platform and then you pay a small fee, then you have access to that platform for the rest of your life, and you can use it if you want to teach.
And I wanted to say as well, because Alan is a qualified teacher, I'm also a qualified teacher, and what I would say is, when you learn something as a student, you enjoy it and you take it in. However, when you start to think about teaching other people, you then start to learn your subject matter in greater depth.
Yes,
it's a little bit, a little bit like From the King and I. As a teacher, I've been learning. You're taught by your students.
Right. That was a musical theatre moment.
Yes.
that we thought we'd share with you.
Yes.
So that's those 4 levels. Now I want to quickly, level 5 is a bit more advanced. It's about light body work, which is like almost a standalone thing that you can do, a level you can do after level 4 if you feel drawn to it. The first steps is very interesting, and the symbol was actually brought through by Jenny. She did her level 3 training, because she did her Chakrascension training to help her understand, so she could promote us with more depth of knowledge. And at level 3, when she was being activated and linked to the energy, she was swaying around. Rather interesting. I thought, oh, something's happened here. You don't have to do that. And then, after that training, a symbol came through to Jenny. And then the energy she found she was working with was angelic energies rather than ascended masters. And she was told that this particular level, this symbol, would be ideal for children to work with. Now, Jenny's a very devoted mother, and really I think that's why she was chosen. So how this works, first steps, it is meant we teach a parent, we give them guidance and understanding, and then they can then share it with their child. We're not really able to teach children directly because of all the legal complications, and I don't think we should. But that way a parent can then pass that information on. So it's at student level for the child, teacher level for the adult or the parent, and they can work as long as they like with their child.
Could you pass me that list over there? It was here until I was prepared.
Is this relevant to first steps?
No,
Okay.
it is relevant to the next thing.
So, I think it's something that could be really explored. It's something unique that is so beneficial to children. And Jenny and other people we've taught have taught children from age 4 up to 14. And so it's adapted by the parent according to the level of understanding that child could have. So I think that could be a real goer for people going forward to actually spread it and to help children. And the fact that it's angelic energies, people are quite open to that concept.
The reason I need this list is because the next section I am going to do, which is costs of training. So the first thing that I want to say is that we started teaching people level 1 Reiki in 1997, and the cost of the course that we taught people at level 1 has never changed. We're still teaching at that price.
I think we're cheap.
Inexpensive,
yes.
I would prefer to say.
I remember at the time we were told how Madame Takata, if you know about Reiki, used to charge in the 40s $10,000 to do level 3.
And you can understand why she does that because a sad thing about human nature is if you say, I've got this therapy course that for level 1 costs £100, somebody will say, oh, okay, I might think of doing that. If somebody says, I've got a level 1 course in my therapy that costs £750, people think immediately, oh, the £750 is going to be more worthwhile doing.
Yes.
Because we're pre-conditioned to have expense as equaling luxury.
And equal in quality.
Absolutely. So the masters have told us that they never want the bar for somebody to do Chakrascension as being that they can't, if they can't afford it. It always needs to be available for people. That said, when we are no longer here and when we're no longer able to subsidise it and move it forward, it needs to be a viable concern for all of our lovely practitioners to be able to make money to keep teaching.
Yes.
And so what we have done is we've set up on our website the costs of training, and these are the maximum costs. So we say to everyone, you don't have to charge level 1 £100. Absolutely not. If you want to charge less, that's up to you. If you want to charge less for certain people, if they're on benefits, that sort of thing, entirely up to you. But we do not expect any point people will charge more than £100. We are reviewing it as we go along. These were £10 cheaper last year, but we feel as if to keep with inflation and etc., we need to increase it, but we will always be very sensible. And so, for instance, level 1 is 100, level 2 is 150. Remember, at level 2, you can become a practitioner, so you will be able to then start earning money. A level 3 is 170, and level 4 is 230.
Yes.
And we also provide manuals. We've got, as Alan said, we've got beautiful manuals, and we are really just charging the base cost to print those manuals, plus a small supplement in order that we can save money for a reprint. So the manuals are £6 plus postage. Now you'll know they're an official manual because they come with a red seal that proves that it's official. The reason we've done this is because throughout the whole of our Reiki training with various teachers, lots of different teachers, we never once had an original manual. They were all photocopies. And we thought, because of the chakras, because of the symbols, because of the colours, it's important for somebody to have
something of quality as well, I think.
Yes, absolutely. And so that's the costs of the training. If you do it online, for instance, there's some discounts. So if you do a self-study, you can have a discount of £30. And then we also do intermittently throughout the year, we always do a Black Friday, Thanksgiving discount, and we're going to be announcing in the next couple of weeks a summer discount as well. So that if you're interested in level 1 or the other levels, you might think, oh, I'll save some money at the same time. The other thing that we're also very much aware of is that people do their level 2 training, but it takes a lot of confidence to actually become a teacher. And so what we will be doing for people who've done level 2 and above in the autumn, we'll start doing some online mentoring and training sessions for people who feel that they want to become teachers, but they're not quite confident in how to go about it.
And you said that all the support is there, the tools that can to help them with the actual teaching.
And then obviously you're in a tree, so the people below us will, obviously the person that you learn it from, they will also support you as well.
Yeah.
The next one. Oh, it seems we've now got to where I'm...
Yes. Talking, and we're so glad.
Talking, and you haven't gone to sleep yet. Anyway.
We don't know that.
No, I was talking about you, not the audience. FH accreditation and insurance. So we felt that it was important to get some sort of quality mark. I taught Reiki at a further education establishment at North Birmingham College in the 90s, and there was a proper syllabus through vocational trust and training, and now they also have national occupational standards for Reiki, and so we wanted something like that. So it took us quite a lot of time to get it, but we have it accredited by the FHT, Federation of Holistic Therapists. And so we do pay every year to be able to maintain that accreditation. And people who study levels 1 and 2 as short courses with FHT, you can also claim CPD hours.
Which is continual professional development.
We also for public liability, it's important if you become a practitioner or a teacher that you have proper public liability insurance, and you can get those through FHT. You can also get them through Baylands, and many of you will have their public liability through Baylands, and it's on the list. So
and
that's
what
rather
people
exciting.
write with Baylands have said they can still get insurance, but call it chakra balancing.
Yeah,
there is a way.
I had some of our students, they were with Westminster, which is a popular insurer for through salons, hairdressing and nails and beauty. And Westminster, they don't do brands, so I approached Westminster. They were very helpful, but they suggested, oh, well, you can get the cover through chakra balancing, which is like a generic term.
Yeah.
And we're always interested in speaking to people who offer insurance to see if we can get Chakrascension on the list.
Now, do you think we ought to mention that we actually call the whole thing a Chakrascension Collective? By that we mean that although obviously we've devised it, we've structured it, we're always open to for any feedback from people who have trained, if they got actually bringing through new information. And we do a drop-in every, is it 4 times a year?
4 times a year. We do a newsletter 4 times a year as well. And
so we want to give everyone a voice who's trained. So, you know, and any problems you have, there's that ongoing support.
And we'll hopefully do more of these targeted at people who've not heard of Chakrascension or have done a little bit. Hopefully, when we know how to switch to start the go live.
And of course, from what I can see, obviously people already know about us. But we're going forward. We want to actually start to target other parts of the country, different demographics, so we can promote it so that people know about it. And then if there's anybody in the area they can go to for treatment or for actual training. So really we want to use this as a platform to really push it out there now.
Yeah. And we've got, what I should say as well, you get official certificate from us. So when you've completed your training, and we number all of the certificates so that you know that has a lovely gold seal on it. And you know, and you
lovely gold seal.
And you will know that your certificate number is in the database. So if you then ever lose your certificates, people move house, they lose certificates, you can always contact us and we will say, oh, I can see it in the database, and we will reprint them for you. It's what's quite nice, I quite like it, where there's a lot of people that we haven't trained because we've been so lucky with the people that have trained for us. And what we've done is, what's this?
Oh.
For first steps. Oh, now first steps. I think is that £60.
I think it's 45 for student level.
45.
And 75 for teacher level.
Yeah, 45 for student level. Are you sure, or was it 40 and 60?
Oh, it was 45.
We'll
clarify
clarify and put that on.
Yeah. So there's someone called Audrey. Hi, Audrey.
Yes. Now, she's just. I've just relatively recently sent her a certificate.
Oh, Audrey's got a certificate. Great.
Now, what is nice though is we get a name come. Somebody contacted me. They did their training in 2022 and 2023, and they were wanting to know how to pick it up again. And I was really pleased that I could say to them, oh, I see you did your level 1, the exact date, and level 2. So it's just because we're so lucky with our collective.
Now, would you like to talk about the, have you got time?
Oh, I think we just about have time. As part of the, you'll recall that Alan bought the little pieces of paper, and we eventually, in November 2015, we decided to start teaching it. I then took those images and created the symbols in Adobe Illustrator. And then in Photoshop, I realized that we didn't have our own images of different Ascending Masters. So I then felt it was important for us to create our own. And I did 2 years of work, which eventually became the Chakrascension Master Oracle deck. And so we offer those as part of the training, and I also use those. So when I'm reading for people publicly, I will offer somebody a tarot, and I will also offer the master deck. And the master deck works in the same way as a tarot. There are different types of image, and the pictures of the masters are like the major arcana. The pictures of the symbols are like the minor arcana.
Okay.
And so it's quite comprehensive from that point of view.
So for what I can see, it's mainly people who've actually trained who know about it. But hopefully, when this is uploaded, there may be other people who are interested. Oh,
Nicole said yes, she did. 75 was the teacher level.
Oh,
which is
brilliant.
what I noted at our drop-in. So
Excellent.
thank you, Nicole.
that's what I said, wasn't it?
You did say that.
Anyway, so hopefully going forward, we'll try and make these perhaps quite regular, and as I say, to try and push it out there and actually get to grips with the modern era and social media. So if anybody's got anything they'd like to ask now, we're here, and you can let us know how you think we did. So going forward, if you represent Chakrascension, hope you've got the right sort of tone and the right mode of delivery. And I'd also again like to thank Jenny for supporting us in getting this going.
Yeah, supporting us and also fielding the questions, because I know
Yes.
she's been chatting
Yes.
along the way.
Yes, our influencer.
So I think that we're just 5 minutes short. We obviously have been speaking for about 40, 50 minutes, I think, because we did have 10 minutes.
And we seem so quiet and calm, where we were like hysterical, trying to sort out the phone, and we work on the computer, but we try to stay dignified at all times.
Oh, you are nice. You're all giving us such nice feedback. Don't forget, if you've got any questions about Chakrascension or you want to share anything, don't hesitate to get back to us. And also don't forget that we've got our September newsletter, and I'm always happy to receive contributions from all of you working with the system.
Okie dokie. So anyway, have a lovely evening. Enjoy, well, the rest of your life in some cases. So it's lovely to connect with you also. Bye.
Bye. See you soon.